welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give you my review for the new Doctor Strange movie, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So just came out over the weekend. I think I saw it on Sunday. So I thought I'd give it a few days to kind of digest the movie. So this won't be a full non-spoiler review. I'm not going to do full-on spoilers, so don't worry about that. But when I get to it, I will tell you one bit, which I think is it's a bit of a spoiler, but a part of me thinks it's kind of not as well, to be honest. You kind of see it in the trailer. You kind of know, if you've been following these movies and the news, you kind of know what's going to happen. So, first off, the movie is directed by the legendary Sam Raimi, who I grew up watching horrors, loved his Evil Deads, and that. I think most of the mainstream people know him from his Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 1, 2 and 3, especially since they just brought back Tobey Maguire and that for the last Spider-Man movie. So yeah, they got him to direct this, which I think is a really good choice, but I'll get into that when I get into my likes and dislikes. The movie stars Benedict Cumberbatch again as Doctor Strange. Elizabeth Olsen's back as Wanda. Benedict Wong's back as well. Plus we get a newbie. Hoping I've said this right. Xochitl Gomez, who plays American Chavez in the movie. So, and Rachel McAdams is back as well as the love interest of Strange as well. So most of the recurring actors from the Doctor Strange movie, or some from the Marvel ones as well, make a nice little return for this. The story is, I'll go into a little bit about the story, not much, or it's pretty basic, to be honest. Like I'll get into like I said, likes and dislikes, I will get into it a little bit more, but American Chavez is getting chased by demons for her powers, because you find out that she's a multiverse jumper. Her powers are she can jump through multiverses and all that. So the demons want her power. There's a Doctor Strange that tries to help her in the beginning. A brilliant sequence in the beginning, beautiful visuals. But unfortunately he dies. But with his last dying breath, he helps her escape. So she ends up being back in the main MCU timeline, which they do dub as 616, which any comic book fan for the Marvel things will know that's the main universe for the Marvel. So Doctor Strange and Wong and that has to help her out, save her from these demons and all that. And this is where it comes into a little bit of a spoiler. You do find out the main villain of this story is Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch. So she wants the powers so she can absorb that girl's powers so she can go to another multiverse and have her kids back. So if you haven't watched WandaVision, or you haven't watched What If as well, I recommend watching them before you watch this movie, because otherwise they explain it a tiny bit in the movie, but they don't give it a big explanation. So you have to watch that series and that movie, them two series, sorry, to kind of get the gist of this movie. The MCU is a big commitment when you're watching it and all that. You can't just watch this year, miss this bit out, because you will miss a lot that comes back in these movies. So you find out she wants them, so the whole thing is then of them trying to save this girl and trying to stop Wanda. So the story is probably one of the weakest points of this, which I will get to, which I'll start off with my dislikes and I'll end with my likes. So let's start with the dislikes. The story does feel very fast-tracked as well. It's a basic story, kind of a continuation from WandaVision, obviously, especially when you've seen the end credit scene where she's got the I can't remember what's called, dark old book, the witch book and that. So, but she uses that quite a lot in this, and it's taken a hold of her. But yeah, the story, it's a little thin on story. It's a Doctor Strange movie, but be honest, man, it could be a Scarlet Witch movie. Doctor Strange is in there a little bit more, but it's pretty much a Scarlet Witch story, really. So yeah, the story feels a little bit not lackluster, unfortunately. Including the length, like the length of this movie is about 2 hours long, not including credits, like just over 2 hours long with credit. Didn't feel like 2 hours. It felt like an hour and a half movie to me. It didn't feel it had time to breathe in parts and all that, just to expand the story a little bit. It's just like bang, 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 hitting into the points and all that, which is Sam Raimi, to be honest. When you watch his movies are like that. And sometimes they do work. They do. But in this case, unfortunately, the story doesn't really work for this. Even though Sam Raimi didn't write this. Unfortunately, I haven't got who wrote it down. But it just feels like kind of a rushed film overall. It does. It could have had a little bit of time to breathe, expand on the story just a tiny bit and that. But yeah, unfortunately, that's a little bit of downfall. The fight scenes are a bit lackluster as well, especially Doctor Strange. After you've seen him in Infinity War, Endgame, and the What If series, where he had some really great fights in that, and what he used, like the magical things he used. He has a couple of fight scenes in here, apart from when he takes on himself, which is in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler. That's a beautiful thing where he uses musical notes as weapons, and the other one does, and it's like back and forth musical fight scene, which is really probably the best fight scene in the movie. It is. It's a beautiful sequence. Apart from that, very lackluster fight scenes, to be honest. And he doesn't use much of his powers like he did in, let's say, Infinity War. You know, some of the great visuals of his thing. He didn't use any of that, really. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with that. And there's another one, but this is a two thing, because I like and I dislike it. The Illuminati. I'm not going to say who's in it. You can kind of guess most of it. There is a nice little surprise if you haven't been spoilt. Two in the Illuminati, which you were surprised to see in it. I was surprised to see definitely one of them. But the fight scenes end with when Wanda takes on the Illuminati, which you see in the trailers as well, are very lackluster, to be honest. The Illuminati scene is literally... God, I won't even say 10 minutes long the minute you see them till they finish that sequence. I don't think it's 10 minutes long, so it's like really is quick cameos, to be honest. Yeah, and some of them are a bit lackluster on the presence on screen. Some of them are great, some of them are a bit lackluster, unfortunately. But I'm not going to go into full on spoilers about that, because I do suggest you go and watch the movie to, you know, thing, because I did have a smile on my face when that scene came up. But they were kind of only my little dislikes of the movie thing. My likes are, I love the acting, again, really good, especially Elizabeth Olsen's the MVP of this movie. She was absolutely outstanding as the evil Scarlet Witch, and how menacing she was, and a lot of nice horror aspects of it. You could probably call this the first horror movie MCU have done. They haven't, you know, you got a master like Sam Raimi, and he had all his camera tricks that he uses if you've watched Evil Dead, etc., stuff like that. It is he uses them all in this movie as well, and I think he worked really well for this. It did. But yeah, Elizabeth Olsen's amazing. You know, Benedict Cumberbatch and Benedict Wong are brilliant together. Brilliant chemistry between them two. And Sochi Gomez as well as American Chavez. She did a brilliant job. I think she's one to watch out for in the MCU, to be honest. But yeah, the acting was really good overall. It is. Direction, like I said, a lot of people I've heard moan about it and all that, but I think he did a really good job. He did of directing this thing. You know, he brought his own style, obviously, in some scenes, but you know, overall, I think he did a brilliant. I think he really suited this movie. He did, Sam Raimi, and I hope he carries on with the MCU. To be honest, do a couple of more movies with him, especially some of the horror ones, maybe. It is. We will go for visuals next. A little bit of a hit and miss with the visuals. When they're in the multiverse and stuff like that, absolutely stunning visuals, absolutely amazing. Especially when Doctor Strange and American Chavez travel through multiple universes, like you see in the trailer. Again, they expanded it a bit more in the movie, and that's a brilliant sequence. But there, it's one of them fun. When I knew it was coming, I made sure to keep an eye on everything. But important, they go so quick. Unfortunately, it's hard to catch some of them. Some of them you see in the trailer and all in the trailer, but there's a couple of new ones in there as well. There's a couple of wonky parts, like when they're fighting the squid. There's a few wonky visuals, especially one with Wong. There's especially a part where Wong gets Benedict Wong's character gets dropped, so he uses his portal to save himself. But his character, the CGI character, looks a lot smaller than the visual and the real life version of him, unfortunately. So yeah, a few wonky bits, but overall, like, Doctor Strange is a visually stunning movies at the end of the day. It is. I love the cameos. Like I said, no spoilers here and all that, but yeah, you know Patrick Stewart's in it. That's a nice little cameo. I love some of the cameos. Bruce Campbell does a nice little cameo in this as well. It does. But yeah, they all hit the spot for me personally. It did, so I was very happy with that. And last but not least, for likes, is the music by Danny Elfman. I flipping love this music, and it's definitely one I'm definitely going to get on vinyl. I am definitely going to buy it. But yeah, he pulls it out again, brilliant. Especially, like I said, the Doctor Strange fight scene. They have like a few guitar riffs in this movie and all that. Some hit, some don't hit so much in the movie, but overall the music is beautiful, and especially that fight scene between the two strangers is an excellent music, like guitar riff back and forth. It is. So yeah, very nice indeed. It is. Does have 2 after credit scenes. Don't bother about the last one, because it hasn't really nothing to do with the movie or what's coming next in the other movies. The second one, it's just a thing with Bruce Campbell again. But the first one, I didn't have a clue, really. They do one which kind of what's going to happen with the next Doctor Strange, probably. It is. I can't remember the character's name in it, but I'm not going to spoil it and that. But I didn't know who she was, so I had to have a look when I got home, find out who she was. But she is a prominent character in the Doctor Strange story back years ago. So you learn new things every day. So that's my review of Doctor Strange 2. Overall, I give it a good 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. My second favourite, probably out of the Phase 4 movies. I've enjoyed them all so far. I don't think there's been a miss in my eyes in this one. I like where they're going with this one. It's a lot different to the other phases. So I'm looking forward to where they're going. So yeah, definitely 8 out of 10. Not as good as No Way Home. That's still my favourite Phase 4 movie, but definitely up there. Can't wait to watch it again. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and if you'd like to see more videos, I guess, please subscribe to my channel. I will see you next time. Bye.